The fact that you're in radiology and there's private equity money that's coming into this market that you're not influencing should be reason enough for you to recognize that you're losing control of your own market. I think a lot of folks feel like, hey, I wasn't really looking to grow a practice to sell. That's fine for them in their individual mindset and in their individual silo, but the market's not going to wait. And so one of the things that I'll ask practices a lot is, over the last 3 years, how many times has your reimbursement increased? How many times over the last 5 years were you planning to make a strategic decision with a payer or a hospital system and it didn't pan out? Let's take those experiences that you had over the last 3 to 5 years, looking backwards, let's apply them going forward. How many times do you think that's going to work going forward? You think the payer's waiting to give you an increase in reimbursement? Do you think the hospital system is just waiting for you to decide if you're going to hire that next radiologist that has a subspecialty that you've been lacking for the last 6 months? At some point, that acquisition trail is going to stop. There's no reason to buy anymore because I can sit back with a stable of 200 radiologists, 250 radiologists, and at that point, I don't need to buy anybody else. All I need to do is put them to work. And I'm going to have some excess capacity in that model. So acquiring a hospital contract at that point is very cheap. Look what I can offer. I've got all these radiologists. I can go 24/7. I've got every subspecialty expertise. I've got all the payer relationships. I don't need to buy anybody else. It's not a fear factor. It's a reality that you don't control what the market's going to do. What we think is the smart decision is evaluate the market. See if the purchase price, see if the employment contract, see if the terms of the deal match what you're looking for. And if it does, then the decision should be pretty easy. If you listen to what Wall Street says right now, it hasn't peaked, it's plateaued, but it hasn't peaked. There's not a lot of room left for the market to go. You've got about 24 to 36 months before that market closes. After that, honestly, there's going to be a lot of employment opportunities, but there's not going to be any acquisition opportunities. Radiologists in this situation, again, they didn't come into this with the expectation of building a business to sell, but they also may have wanted to do something else when they were coming out of school. This gives them that walking around money to make that opportunity available to them. Is this really what you want to do for the rest of your life? And if not, you've got enough money to sit back and go, what else do I want to do with the rest of my life? If you're a radiology group, you're a radiologist, now is the time to at least evaluate the opportunity. Age, market demographics, the current salary that you're bringing in, the reimbursement pressures that you're facing, the hospital systems that you're aligned with, it really doesn't matter. The market's going to move with or without you. It only makes sense to evaluate what that market is willing to offer you today. Deciding to sell your practice is tough. Actually doing it shouldn't be.